In this video, we're going to install Drupal like a desktop application on the Windows operating system. Now, if you watched the previous video overviewing the various options available to us for quickly installing Drupal, you know that we're about to use the Bitnami Drupal stack in order to do this, though there are several other good options as well. But we'll go ahead and go this route because it's fairly simple. Let's begin on our browser on the Google homepage, and let's do a search for Bitnami Drupal. And go ahead and click the topmost link, which will take us to the Drupal page on Bitnami. This page has a list of options, and we want to scroll down to where we see the native header, and we're going to look for the Windows operating system options, which are right here. And we want to install the stack rather than the module, and we want to install the Drupal 7 version. So let's go ahead and click download here, and this will download the file. I'm going to go ahead and click Save File. Once the application is downloaded, go ahead and minimize your browser and run it by double-clicking it in the location where you downloaded it to. And let's go ahead and work through the screens to complete the installation profile. When the setup screen displays, go ahead and click Next. This next screen allows us to select the components to install. We'll go ahead and leave both Drupal and PHPMyAdmin checked, and let's click Next. We can select a folder to install the Bitnami Drupal stack to. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at its default, which is Program Files, Bitnami Drupal stack. And it's good to make a note of where this is so that you can find this location later. Go ahead and click Next. On this screen, called Create Admin Account, we set up the credentials for the first user on our Drupal site. So we'll go ahead and add a username under Login. I'm going to call it Admin. I'm going to add a password. I'm going to confirm the password. I'm going to set up my real name and my email address. Okay, once these are all filled in, go ahead and click Next. This next section allows us to opt out of learning more about one of Bitnami's products. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll uncheck the checkbox and click Next. And let's click Next one more time in order to begin the installation process. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the point where we have this installed. It will take several minutes in order to run through this process. Okay, when the installation is complete and you see the finish screen, go ahead and click Finish, and this will launch a web page in a browser, which we can use to navigate to our Drupal site. Once the welcome page loads, you may want to add this page to your bookmarks so that you don't lose it, because the URL is a little bit strange. If for some reason you lose your bookmark, you can always navigate through your history in order to find this URL. So I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this page. And then to navigate to the Drupal site, I'm going to click this Access Bitnami Drupal stack. Once we're on our Drupal site, let's go ahead and log in using the credentials that we added during the installation process. My username is admin, and I'm going to go ahead and put in a password, and I'm going to click Login. Okay, we're in. There's one more thing to note before we move into the video tutorials, which is that in a few of the videos, we need to know where our Drupal site is installed. So let me go ahead and show you how to find that. I'm going to minimize the browser and go ahead and navigate to the folder where you installed the Bitnami Drupal stack. So I'm going to click on my computer. And of course, with your version of Windows, this might look a little bit different or be in a different location. I'm going to navigate to the hard drive where my program files are. I'm going to click on Program Files and Bitnami Drupal stack. So this is the location where I installed the stack. Within this folder, you want to click on the Apps folder, and then on the Drupal folder, and then on the htdocs folder. Now again, this is within the installation directory for our Bitnami Drupal stack, /apps/Drupal/htdocs. And this is the base directory for our Drupal site. So on videos where we deal with the file system, this is the starting point. This is the location of the base directory for your Drupal site. Let me go ahead and show you real quick how to restart the Bitnami Drupal stack after, for example, you've restarted your computer. Under your Programs folder, and on this version of Windows, I'm just clicking Start and hovering over Programs here, there's a Bitnami Drupal stack item. And inside of this is a folder called Bitnami Drupal Stack Service. And within this folder is a Start Bitnami Drupal Stack Service. So when you need to restart the Bitnami Drupal stack service, this is where you'd go. And once it's running, then you can navigate to that URL that we saved as a bookmark inside of our browser, and it should be functioning. At this point, you should be good to go. You have your stack bookmarked inside of your browser, so you can easily navigate to it. You know how to restart the stack if your computer needs a restart as well. And you know where the Drupal site directory is. Okay, let's get started.